Hey everybody, it's Chris here at Blue Ridge Racing, coming to you from the mountains of North Georgia. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's a Friday, and holiday season starts next week. Thanksgiving, here it is. Can't believe it's already here. Anyway, I'm going to do a little video today that somebody asked me to do that watches some of the other videos I do. But it's great to have somebody ask for advice. I'll give what I can. It's a family, a husband, wife, and their children that are going to get into HO slot car racing as a whole family, something they can all do together. And I thought that was pretty darn cool to hear that. So what their question was is to just do a little video on the most common tools or things they use around the racetrack, because Christmas is coming and that's what they want to buy each other. So with that being said, I'm going to try and do a quick little video here on the common tools I use. So I'm going to move this over here. See if I can angle this down a little bit. There we go. And before I zoom it in, here's one of the things I wound up buying after I started getting the tools that I needed to do the things I wanted to do. It's a beautiful wooden tool chest with plenty of drawers. Storage up here. You can close it. It's got a handle. And I got this at Harbor Freight. It was only like 75 bucks, something like that. So that's a good thing to have to store all the tools and various things I'm going to show you. Excuse me. So now, let me do this. There we go. I'll keep it in that squarey thing. So, here we go. Where do I start? I'll start with screwdrivers. This one's an adjustable or a switch around, but I keep a flathead and a Phillips head close at hand at all times. I keep a little razor knife close at hand at all times, and tweezers close at hand at all times. That's for working on cars, helping with building scenery and things like that. Those you can get anywhere. This is another thing that's become very valuable. It's a little set that I got at Hobby Lobby. And it's got about every kind of screwdriver or square drive or star drive head you could think of, plus these little sockets. It's got a little handle here. It's magnetic. Got an extension wand. Another set of tweezers. That is a great thing to have around when you're doing the various things that you'll do with slot cars. Another thing that I keep handy are, I bought these from eBay. They're little sanding blocks. They're orange with the super fine high number grit sandpaper on them. And I did a video on how I clean my track. I run it around with these, and then I finish cleaning up with these Armor All cleaning wipes. Not protected, these are cleaning. So that's a good thing to have, and you can clean lots of things around your track and other things you're doing with these wipes. So I keep these around all the time. I put those up there. So going to the toolbox, another important thing I bought was this Dremel Moto tool. And it's a variable speed. I've had a corded Dremel probably since I was, I don't know, 28. And I still have it. It's downstairs now. But I brought it up here and I started to use it for various things and realized that the cord was just getting in the way. It was just in the way at all times. And I'll show you a few things here. So with this Dremel, you'll get various tools, but some of the ones I use are this. And a Dremel you can buy at any of the big box hardware stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, online, etc. This is a little scrubbing pad that I use to clean the shoes, the pickup shoes on the slot cars. Comes in handy. Then you've also got little wire wheels to do the same thing and clean grit off of things. You've got buffing pads you can use to buff out a slot car body if it needs it. You can get Dremel cutting tools. I got metal and plastic and wood cutting discs in here that you can put on the Dremel. Those I keep around, and this is you're going to find lots of uses for this tool. I suggest you guys get this. And that I was addressing to the people that asked me to do the video. Some other tools I keep that are handy is the various sets of pliers. And I'll show them to you here. I got a whole complete set of like 4. These are needle nose pliers that are bent. You can see the bend. Straight needle nose pliers. Plus there's a cutter right here. These are old-timey, old-fashioned wire strippers and cutter. These are needle nose that are rounded. They're not flat. They don't really pick up anything, but they go in and you can spread things with it, which are good. These are cutters for wire or plastic or wood. Little side snip cutters, same thing, wires. And these come handy for various different reasons. So you can get a little kit with like 4 of these tools in it from Walmart in their hobby selection department, which is a great place to shop for things, and also at Hobby Lobby, another great place to shop for things. You're going to want to keep things like this around, which you can also get at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, little storage containers. Now, this one has 2 storage containers. It's one side is there. You flip it over. Got another side there. Haven't found a use for this one yet, but I've got a bunch over here on my shelves. Here's just one of them. This has got all AFX, which is one manufacturer of slot cars. I've got springs for the pickup shoes. I've got new replacement pickup shoes. I've got axles. I've got tires. I've got guide pins and crown gears in here. All kinds of things. So if I need something for an AFX car, I grab that one. I got another one for just plain tires. I've got one for Auto World things. We'll try and stick with the tools. A couple other things I use on a pretty regular basis. These are hemostats. I don't know if you're supposed to say this on here, but I don't list this as for kids. These made great roach clips when I was young. Because you could hold it and hold on to it. Those days are long gone. But you can clamp something in there and it snaps into place there, and now it's held. So these are good to have. And these are spring-loaded tweezers. You push it together and it opens, let it go, and it will also hold something. So those are good to have. Clamps, I got various clamps around here to clamp things. If you're making something, making scenery, you need to clamp something together, just spring-loaded hand clamps. Good to have around. And you'll find all kinds of stuff that works for you. Larger knife cutters or razor blade cutters razor blade cutters and a track come around are very handy for so many different things. Open up slot car packages. And then here, as you get into start working with slot cars, these tools here are what allow you to customize and build slot cars. And this is called a gear puller and a wheel puller. And you slip one side on one side of the wheel and put this and push it through the center, so you're pushing the wheel off, pulling the wheel off the axle. And this is a wheel, this installs the wheel, presses it back on, and also presses an axle through a gear. This comes out so that you can mount an axle to put back in a car. Mine I got from Scale Engineering. You can get them from Hardin Creek Slot Cars. I think you can get them at Viper. You can get them a few different places. This one's a little bit different because you send him a check and then he mails you the items that you bought. The other ones you might be able to buy with a credit card. And then this little tool here is real handy. This is what takes off a crown gear, which is the gear that comes off of the motor that meshes with the, the pinion gear, which comes off the motor that meshes with the crown gear that makes the car go in the axle. So you can pry it off with this little end, and then you put a new one in here, and you can press it back on. It's another good thing to have. And then as you get to modifying your cars and buying better tires, this is invaluable. This is a slot car, HO slot car tire gauge. So you take with the tire mounted on the wheel and put it in and find the right size. Then you know what your replacement sizes are going to be when you go to some of the locations. This came from Hardin Creek. And again, I'm pretty sure they have all these tools as well. Jag Hobbies has some tools. Hardin Creek. Those are some good places to look. And Viper Scale Racing, also some good places to look for a lot of different tools and ideas and things. And you'll see lots of videos on the internet on how to use and do a lot of these tools that I'm showing you. And you'll decide, based upon what you're doing, what you actually need. What's in there? Nothing of importance. Already went through that. And also, you're going to need to keep on hand a good oiler. This is what's called a micro oiler. You see that fine little tip. This is what you need for oiling your HO slot cars. You can get these eBay. You can get them from Viper. You can get them from Hardin Creek, Jag Hobbies. Almost all the slot car places have these. Also, I keep around here various types of glue. That's super glue. That is super glue that also uses a brush. You can unscrew this and has a brush on the end that goes down and brushes out the super glue. Little crazy glue stick comes in handy when you're, making a billboard or putting some paper onto something else, which is good. The other thing, let me get a slot car that's going to come in handy for you. Oh, here I got a chassis here. We'll use this. This is what's called a setup block. I got this one from Viper. It's got 2 rails on it. It's got a cutout in the middle. And this is how, when you replace shoes or you're tweaking shoes to be straight, how you can make sure everything is the way it should be. You place it on that block, then you can look underneath and you can watch it go across the rails. You can see if it's flat or not, or if it's bowed. You can make sure that you have clearance between the bottom of your slot car and the ground in case you use different tires. You don't want to lower it too far because it might stick to the track. So a setup block is important. And various storage boxes. I have some cigar boxes. I have quite a few cigar boxes around here that I store various things in. So I think that's about it for the tools for right now. Oh, and I keep a pair of, these are magnifier glasses, but they have lights built into the sides here. So when I'm working on something small, which HO stuff is small, I can see it. And I bought these online from some ad I saw years ago. I can't tell you, but if I was to try and find them again, I'd look for lighted magnifying glasses. I'm sure something will come up somewhere. Everything you could think of is out there on the internet. So, oh, and I keep tape. I keep tape around for a lot of different reasons, especially when you're working on small slot cars and parts, etc. And a good pad to work on. I saw this in the first month I started doing this, which was January of last year. And Dan from Slot Valley Racing had this pad, and then I wound up finding it at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, that's where I got it. Or they even have them at Walmart in the crafts and sewing section. This is a way to measure out fabric with rulers on all four sides. But it's a great pad to do your work on, and you're not going to cut through it. So that's good to have. So that's it on what I can recommend as far as your tools go for your Christmas shopping. And again, you got Hobby Lobby, you got Walmart's Hobby Center, their hobby section. That's lots of stuff. You got Jag Hobbies online. You got Viper Scale Racing online. You got Hardin Creek Slot Cars online. Another good website for HO and HO related items is Pro Tinker Toys, as you're buying cars. You know, eventually, if you're like the rest of us, this is addicting. You'll wind up with more cars than you realized you were going to have. And I'll get into that into another video, but you're going to probably want to get a way to store some slot cars. So, I guess that's about it. So, thanks to everybody for listening. The folks that wanted to know about my common tools, I hope that helped. Or you learned something, or you had a good time just watching. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.